Hello and welcome to Coffee and Catholics, a Catholic women's talk show podcast. I'm Stacy, one of your hosts, and with me I have...
Hi, I'm Alicia.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Lauren.
Hello and welcome to Coffee and Catholics. This is Stacy, one of your hosts, and this week on Coffee and Catholics, I'm just coming on and want to just talk to you guys a little bit about this upcoming year. And also on behalf of all of us here at Coffee and Catholics, we wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. For those of you who have been following us for a while, this is going into our 5th year this year, and we couldn't do it without the wonderful listeners like you out there. But you may have noticed that our episode releases aren't as consistent over the past 6 months as they have been in the previous 4 years. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And some of it stems from my allergy diagnosis 6 months ago. For those of you who are just tuning in to us, this is I have alpha-gal syndrome, which is a allergy, is a tick-borne allergy. I was bitten by a tick, and now I am allergic to any mammal products. So that's food and anything that has mammal byproducts in it. But those reactions have gotten less because I'm doing better about what I eat, where I eat, and what things I'm around. But it still can hit me by surprise, or there's sneaky ingredients, or I have fume reactions, so I end up being around something I'm not supposed to be around, and I can react that way. But so that's part of it. Another part of our inconsistency has been that our schedules changed this school year. So in August, we realized that there wasn't really a good night for all 4 of us to get together. So we've been alternating every other month on the day of the month that we meet, so that we have at least 3 of us together. And that has worked out pretty well. But if you've been wondering why there's 2 or 3 episodes without Alicia in a row, or 2 or 3 episodes without Lauren in a row, that would be why. It's because those of you who have been with us for a while have heard us talk about this before, but if you haven't, we meet once a month and record 2 to 3 episodes that then I edit over the next month and release. And we try to do that, release those every 2 weeks. But then, when we get like in December, we only had really one night that was available for any of us to record. And we had a guest speaker who was going to be coming on with us. And everybody's kids got sick except for mine. So even the guest speakers. And we talked about maybe doing a Zoom. But you guys know that here at Coffee and Catholics, we really take a cue from the Holy Spirit. And that same day, my dad had an appointment with his oncologist and was told that his current treatment isn't working, and there's only a couple of options left. And so I told the ladies, I was like, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and reschedule this interview, and I'll go spend some time with my family. So I went down to my parents that evening, and we did reschedule. We're having that recording night with that same guest speaker coming up soon. It's still going to happen, but we took that night off, which means we didn't have an episode to release at the end of December like we had hoped, or now like we had hoped. And then there was another episode that we did record, but ended up being a little bit longer than we anticipated. And when you have a longer episode, it means longer editing process. And with the holidays and my allergy and my dad's diagnosis, I just wasn't finding the time to do the editing. Just to be honest, I just couldn't find the time to do it. And so yeah, so we did have an episode that we had planned to release a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't get around to editing it. That's just how life has been lately. Yeah, so for those of you who have been following us, I just really felt like I wanted to give you guys an explanation as to why things have been a little wonky the last couple of months. And kind of let everybody know that they may stay wonky for a while. We did actually discuss whether or not we should continue doing this podcast. And because everything's been so funky, we prayed about it and really discerned, and that the Holy Spirit has work for us to do through this, and that the stories that we're sharing, whether our personal stories or those of the guest speakers that we have on this show, are really helping people and converting hearts, and that is really important. We discerned that God's still wanting us to do this, but it may just look a little different than it has over the past 4.5 years, and that's okay. And that's the other thing is, over the last 6 months, the four of us have really had to release control of a lot of things. There's been a lot of growth in learning that we don't really have control over much in our life except for how we react to how things happen. And sometimes we're not very good at that either. So your prayers and your patience are very much appreciated. And all of this makes me think about a couple of weeks ago, I did, Jen Fulweiler has a word of the year generator, and she has a saint of the year generator too. I went ahead and I did both of them, but I'm focusing on the word one right now. But my word that it generated for this year was enter. And I've really been thinking about that, like with all this that's been going on, entering into 2025 with this knowledge that God's in control. Like, we always have this illusion that we control so much, and we control very, very little. We just, enter into Him and enter into to rest with Him and to trust with Him. And so as I was thinking about this word enter, and I was thinking about this short little episode that I'm releasing about the new year and our crazy schedules and the crazy episode releases, I looked up what Bible verses mention the word enter, and there's a lot, but one particular verse really spoke to me, and actually this whole chapter, but I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I'm just going to read the one verse, but I do recommend that you read the whole chapter. John chapter 10, in the section of the Good Shepherd, so verses 1 through 21, particularly. And the verse that really popped out at me when I was looking up the word enter in the Bible was John chapter 10, verse 9. I am the gate. Whomever enters through me will be saved, and will come in and out and find pasture. So I'm just going to read that one more time. And I'm not even going to read the whole thing. I'm going to stop to where it really spoke to me. But this, just the first part of, I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. I was thinking about that and how we here on this podcast walk with each other and to lead each other to Jesus, to the gate. And we're all here to help each other there, to help each other get to Jesus. And I hope that just know that all your prayers and patience and encouragement and emails and messages on our Facebook group and on our Instagram, and we see all those, and they're very much appreciated as we enter into 2025 and we enter into this journey to Jesus together. Our hope for you all is that despite the chaos of our lives, that we find rest and peace in this journey together. And Happy New Year from all of us at Coffee and Catholics. And as always, thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Join us again soon. Until then, may God bless you and may Mary accompany you. Coffee and Catholics is a proud partner of the Smart Catholics Podcast Network. Find new shows to love, meet like-minded Catholics, and join the community at smartcatholics.com.